Brian?
Here.
Kara? Here. Carissa? Here. Curtis?
Here.
Jennifer? Here. Daniel?
Here.
Jeff? Here.
Would everybody please rise and pledge allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to approve the proposed agenda. Carissa first, Daniel second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we have two signed up for public comment, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Jackie?
Okay, whichever you would like to go first, Jackie.
Do you want us, I wasn't sure if you wanted us to present now or in the session. No?
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be all right.
My speaking is if there was any questions, I'm just here to back her up. So
Okay.
I don't have any speaking to.
Jump in whenever you need to, I guess.
All right. I have, I'm not sure if Amy gave you guys,
I have it prepared for closed session, but you can pass it on.
well, that's what I was gonna say, I don't know if you wanted me to wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
The she one?
Yeah. Is that everybody get this one? All right. I don't know if you want to go ahead and just read through it, or you want me to highlight it?
Is that what you were planning on doing?
Yes.
Highlighting? Okay, yeah.
Um,
You've got the floor.
Okay. Well, the points on here, the bullet points you have, obviously I've put those in bold. The most important part of why we are here today, well, we're representing myself, Robin Lovecamp, Colin Artholoni, Lisa Doyle, and Tracy Taft. The five of us are some of your most experienced teachers, and we are currently the only ones off the schedule. Tracy just got back on it this year. There's a discrepancy in that, a big discrepancy that we have noticed. We noticed this last year and tried to get that worked out to no avail with the previous board. And we believe that probably the biggest factor is what the second bullet point here is that when the new salary schedule was adopted, nearly all the teachers were placed onto it except for us. And we were left off and tied to the prior contract, which disregards one of the articles in our contract, which is 11.3. That may not have been their intent. However, we would like to be recognized for our tenure. There was an MOU last year that was given. That was supposed to be sort of an extra stipend, but it wasn't going to resolve the overall discrepancy. So what I have shown you and given you in the rest of that packet, I have given you the numbers for each of our, going back from last year when the salary first, this contract first started with this new salary on the new salary schedule. I gave you Jane Doe just as an example for everybody that would follow in consecutive order through the years. And then I have mine on the first page. Mine is probably the easiest to look at the transitions because I don't have any, I'm not in a lane. I'm just at that step. So, and at the base. So I've given you that for fiscal year 25 last year when I first started. This year, the fiscal year 26 is the one in the middle, and fiscal year 27, which will be the projected next year. So you can see the discrepancies of actually even the math you can see there for what is a 5.4% raise. And I believe the biggest part there is that the steps end at 22, 24, and 26 for those consecutive years, starting from last year. And if there were more steps, for those of us off of it, obviously each step goes up by 1.4%. And so you can see what that salary would be too. The way it seems to have been figured, well, not seems to be, it was. If you take my salary, the one that is fiscal year 25, that amount is 5.4% of my previous salary on the old contract. So that's where that comes back into, it's tied to the old contract. So several of us got bumped in order to match teachers that were at that same place when everyone else got bumped and this new contract came out. But even then, some of the numbers weren't right, and I'm not sure exactly how they got us to some of the places we were at. And as we move on up this year and next year, it's still off by quite a bit. The discrepancy exists for every single one of us. And even Tracy Taft at the end, I put her at the end because she's on the schedule today, or this year she's on the schedule. And where she's currently at, back on the schedule for fiscal year 26, it is 1.4% of step 23. So that would seem to be accurate. However, if you look at what is going to happen, is that step 26 next year is 64,224, and where Tracy's at, Colin is this semester, he's about to match her. And so he's gonna have to be bumped up to match her. And if you look at her years of experience, she's at 25. Colin, if you go back, Colin is at 27. So if you want to take a minute to look at that, it makes a lot more sense, obviously, if you look at one person's and go through it, and then you can ask me questions.
Contract, current contract for this year, next year. Maybe with a couple of them.
Well, sorry, I was reading, so I might have missed if you said this or not.
Okay, ask me questions, that's fine. And
Colin,
these numbers are figured on the sheet without TRS. And that's what
Colin right now is just a BA plus 8, and Tracy has a master's, right? Well,
he's BA plus 16.
Right, BA 16, he's matched with me.
37, 38.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at last year. So next year he will have his master's.
3940. Okay, hold on, you know, papers. I need the 30, this 3738. Do you guys need 3738 or do you have 3940? She needs 3738.
I need 37.
Yep, we already know what she did, it's not bad, guys.
And for quick reference, I have at the bottom of that first page, is that obvious
I
step.
don't know what.
I've got 40 and I got 39 and 40.
I have 39 and 40.
38. Yep, I'm good. 38. 39.
One job, Chris,
I need-
that's all numbers.
It's in the same one every time.
Got the same one.
So you need 3940.
She needs 39.
Page.
Page number.
Oh,
3940.
oh, you were asking the dollar.
No, the page.
That's behind. All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I need to, okay, sorry, my bad. Okay. Okay, so you handed us the scholarship rules.
Yeah, just so you're gonna have to.
Okay, okay. Okay, let me get back into my reading here. We got it. You here for our math purposes.
I should know the answer to this question, but I cannot remember. Did the steps just start getting added with this contract?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, that's fine.
What do you mean? Oh.
since I'm new, I'm gonna ask questions. So during a union contract negotiation, why was these steps not addressed within a step? Why did we just stop at 24?
That was the best we could get. This was the first contract that we've been able to add steps.
Okay.
And it's 2 per year over the life of the contract.
Okay.
So we tried to get it back on, and that's the best we could get.
Gotcha, okay.
On a side note, I'd like more. I would like more.
More steps,
On our
you mean?
next- On our next contract, I personally would like more, yes.
Right, everything definitely discuss. I believe that the biggest discrepancy is where you got off like hugely is the year that everybody had to be adjusted because of the starting salary. And so lots of teachers received big jumps and they did not at all. And so now it's drastically affecting them when everybody else has been bumped up and they have not.
Okay. If you got any questions for them, fire them out, but if not, we'll discuss this in closed session.
Yeah,
Okay.
my questions were answered.
Okay.
Anything else?
Appreciate
I'll
it.
stay in case something comes up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Robin, I'll stay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next up, Mr. Handy.
Yep.
Would you mind, please? Oh, sorry. Students of the month.
Sorry.
You're waiting. Yeah, I kind of noticed that we were still waiting on one. Anthony Brock told me that Anthony said to be here by 7. So that's kind of why I jumped over. Okay. Mr. Handy.
So I am getting student of the month or I'm not?
Have you ever had it?
Well, it depends.
Not even close. So a couple things. Since our last board meeting, we took bids on the paving project, which was basically the teacher parking lot, alternate bid for concrete, and then the bus barn parking lot, I believe. That bid tabulation we put together has been shared with you. Ron Furman and Sons Paving was our low bid. We had 2 bidders, basically Ron Furman and Sons Paving out of Springfield and Kenny Contractors out of Raymond. Had quite a few actually attend our pre-bid meeting, but when it came down to it, we just ended up with 2 bids. Both of them are good contractors. Worked with them in the past. Really don't have any issues with either one. Good close bids. That's the other thing we kind of look at too, is to make sure that our low bidder isn't way low. Pretty good tight bid, so it kind of leads us to believe that the price is the price. I did talk to the gentleman who put the bid together for Ron Furman and Sons. Has no issues with completing the project, anything like that. Again, he was comfortable with his number. Sometimes after we open up bids, your low bidder might kind of look and say, forget something, but he went back and looked and again feels confident in his bid and his ability to complete the project. So we did have a little bit of a wrinkle thrown at us in the middle of this. Amy was contacted by EPA.
EPA.
Yeah.
Because they were looking at tickets that needed to be resolved from 1994.
That's the one I was talking
I
about.
told them that I was in
Remediation.
high school in 1994, so I couldn't be of assistance.
So,
So they are coming out to the site to test some soil, evidently in 1994 from an old underground tank.
Just at the bus barn.
Just at the bus barn in the corner of the parking lot. And we'll know more after that, but the way he talked, the district wouldn't be responsible for any
any type of remediation
type
or
of
permits?
Yes. And Steve,
I find that hard to believe.
I did too,
I'm
and
sorry.
I told Steve
I
that,
asked the same question.
and I told Steve that, and Kevin,
Yeah,
even Steve called.
I mean,
Can we get that in writing just in case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our only concern was that they weren't going to be able to get out here and do the testing until after, when did they tell you they were coming?
September 26th.
September 26th. And we kind of need to have this project, again, if we stick with the asphalt, we're trying to get this project done before asphalt plants to close. So again, we put October 31st on as the completion date for this. They were going to want to do both as they do excavation and dirt work and things like that, both the bus parking lot and this at the same time. So it kind of threw us for a little bit of a curveball because, again, we want them to start and get done. And so what we ended up doing by addendum is basically say, this parking lot still has to be done by the 31st of October. The work at the bus barn doesn't have to be done until, I think I said November 30th or something. So it kind of splits them up so that they can continue to do the bus parking lot. And then if you choose to go ahead and do the alternate bid for the bus parking lot, it can be done after EPA gets their testing done and things like that. So, and if EPA does find something they need to do, I mean, again, that gravel, we're not doing any paving over there at the bus parking lot, so that can really be done anytime. You know, I mean, again, you get a good break in the weather, you can do that in December, January. So weren't too concerned about that as much as we were just getting started and getting going on the teacher parking lot.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Alternative bid number 2 for concrete paving, where does that apply?
So that just applies, basically, we're just asphalting the teacher parking lot. So basically that is an add, $56,000 add to switch from asphalt to concrete. So choose to take that alternate bid, your parking lot would be concrete instead of asphalt. So you would basically take the $420,350, add $56,238 if you want to do the concrete pavement back there. Otherwise, stick with the asphalt. Typically, I mean, concrete's going to give you, it's going to be a better surface. Is it worth the additional 56? I can't answer that for you as far as funding and all that. Typically, there's less maintenance with concrete. Asphalt, you're going to, every 3 to 5 years, you're probably going to want to seal coat and things like that. So there is some maintenance with asphalt that concrete doesn't have.
What would you estimate, just depth, seal, recoat kind of thing?
Oh, you're probably talking, I mean, it's less than $100,000. I mean, you're probably talking, maybe $20,000, $30,000 or something like that to come in and seal coat on 3 or 4 cases.
And the bus barn was strictly just a rock and aggregate bid?
Yep. Basically just taking out what's the little bit of gravel that's there, stripping it out, basically coming back with, I believe we were doing 6 inches of gravel or something like that. A couple of things that, so yeah, that over there. We were gonna do some sidewalk work, but the sidewalk work that we were gonna do in and around the bus barn ties into sidewalk that is, I mean, it's not in great shape, it's not yours, it's the city's, but at the same time, we were trying to, as we redid the driveway, at least get some concrete on either side. But it ties into concrete. It's just sidewalk. So it didn't make any sense. We basically just pulled all that sidewalk out of there and said, you know what, we're not going to do anything. So in theory, typically if you're redoing your driveway, you're going to try to do a little bit of sidewalk. But we just decided that there's no reason to do it because it's just going to have nice, 6-8 feet of nice sidewalk tied into sidewalk that's not very good. So we eliminated all of that. The other thing over here too, I think the question came up the last time I was here about clay tile. We went ahead and cambered that. We are basically going to run new drain pipe, basically there's a couple downspouts that tie in. We're going to run new drain pipe out to the west. And so you will have new drain pipe. We're not tying into any clay tile. It just wasn't in great shape. So yeah, so we have some new drain pipe on it.
Did we check with the village about tearing out sidewalk? Because I think there's something in their code is if we tear it out, we have to replace it.
Yeah, we're not tearing any out. So over here, we're not tearing any out. We're basically just everything that's gravel.
That's correct.
That we are tearing. Yeah, we were not even doing that. We were going to tear out a little bit in front that's yours in front of the bus barn, but we decided not even to do that. So we're not tearing out any sidewalk.
Some of those proposals, do you have anything in the scope of the work? You mentioned the tile and stuff like that. Is there anything, breakdown on any additional items that work that will be done?
No, pretty much just, I mean, there is, again, new sidewalk up along the building. Handicap parking space got a little bit thicker. I mean, everything we kind of talked about last time, a little bit thicker concrete for trucks and things like that. There was some discussion during the pre-bid when we had contractors here about possibly moving the dumpster, but we kind of circle back around. It doesn't make any sense to do that because you still have trucks that drive up here to deliver, make deliveries. So it wasn't going to save anything as far as that thicker pavement. Plus, it puts your dumpster out by the street, which is probably a little bit more of an eyesore. So I think by the time we kind of talked around and everybody batted around, it's not going to do anything to save you guys any money. So we left it as is.
Okay.
Good. Anybody else?
And then we are continuing on with HVAC. We talked about that a little bit. We are putting documents together for that. We'll probably maybe try to get out here next week to do some surveying. Had some conversation with our engineers this week. Again, we probably won't have bids for you until maybe your November board meeting. But we'll try to kind of get those put together. And again, I think the current thinking is that we will have a ground mount unit back in that corner by the just east of the overhead door to the shop. So kind of back in that corner is where we would probably put a pretty good sized unit, and then we would, and it's kind of an area where we were going to grab it. So it's not on the pavement or anything like that. It's kind of tucked back in there, and then we'll run ductwork up and into the building at that point. So probably pretty much most of the ceilings are going to have to come down in the in that portion of the building. Just to run ductwork and things like that. So again, it doesn't make sense to put ceilings back. So we're probably planning on putting new ceilings back in, and then the same thing with light fixtures. Light fixtures are going to have to come down. You're probably talking about our engineers and I talked this week about it's probably about $20,000 in material just for new light fixtures. You've got the labor already in there because they're going to take the light fixtures down, they're going to run ductwork, and then put things back up. So it's our recommendation that we go ahead and put new light fixtures in, just because. Again, you go to put an old light fixture back up and it doesn't work, and then whose fault is it? And then all of a sudden you've got, and again, we'll put new LED fixtures in there, so it'll be a lot more efficient for you. Another thing that we have talked about too is you've got electric heaters out in your shops. They're a pretty good size. We're going to swap those out with gas too, so it should be a lot more efficient. So hopefully see your electric bill drop.
Would that be a standard blower, or are you going to like radiant?
I think just standard blower. Yeah, typically that radiant heat gets a little bit more costly, so it's basically just standard blower. But again, they're electric right now, and those things I'm sure are pretty costly to run.
Yeah. Okay.
So Kevin, timeline wise, if we get the bid in November timeframe, what are you looking for?
I still think we're pretty good. That's kind of what we're shooting for, so that if you guys go ahead and approve that, then that allows them to get materials ordered, things like that, and we can get started in the summer. So we'll be a tight crunch to do that in the summer, but hopefully, again, we can get far enough ahead of it that they can have all the materials here and kind of ready to go. So when school lets out, they're able to run in there and do that. So it's kind of why we're trying to push to get bids before the holidays.
Several new units required, and I mean, I'm sure you have the electrical requirements of those units. The service they have now would be sufficient for that?
I believe so. We had some conversations about, we're going to have to get all the way from the main distribution panel over on this side and how we do that. That's something that we're going to kind of continue to, how we get, the bad part is we're getting from this side of the building and all the way to the other side of the building. We've talked about, you're running up and over the roof, coming through the building if there's a good path to come through there. But yeah, they feel like that there's enough power there that they can do that. They feel like that there's enough power for that. So.
Forgive me, this electrical contractor for several years, and my thinking with getting ahead of this paving project with the concrete is that there's an option or a need to do any type of boring or anything.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. In fact, again, I kind of made that comment when I talked to different engineers, civil engineer doing the paving and mechanical, electrical engineers doing the other project. I kind of told them, I said, if there's any conduit that we need to get through there, we need to get it through now. So again, that's kind of why we're hopefully here in the next week or so, kind of decide which direction we're going to go. And even if we do, it would be kind of along that building, so it might be something that we'd run underneath sidewalk versus all the way across parking. But it's something I kind of thrown up a red flag just to like, hey, if there's anything that we need to get through there, even if we have maybe a contractor throw in a conduit or something like that, empty conduit that we can use later. But I just don't want to make sure we don't get new pavement put in there, and all of a sudden next summer we're like, all right, we're going to trench through this and run a conduit. So trying to stay ahead of it. So,
Sure. And I assume you would.
Yeah.
Circle back to the asphalt. What is our maintenance and lifespan on our asphalt?
What's your what?
Lifespan on asphalt, and then what is the maintenance cost for that? Because I know we have to reseal it X, Y, Z shop.
20 or 30,000.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think that's a seal coat. Yeah, so it's usually recommended. Again, you can stretch that out as, the longer you go, then the more that you get to the point where usually about, I'm going to say 15 to 20 years is when, you could come through and do a resurfacing. But typically, if you don't do anything to it, it should last you about, I say anything just like your seal coat, should last you about 20 years.
In concrete, 40 to 50.
Yeah, should be. It's going to be a lot, like I said, a lot less maintenance, and you should be able to get. Probably about 40 years out of concrete.
Then would you assume, the asphalt plant's got a temperature, right, for plant shutting down. You can pour concrete later than you can pour asphalt, right? So where I'm going with this is if the project of the HVAC determines, hey, we want to put more time to figure out conduit runs, things like that, we're not going to forget so much to try to get the asphalt done. We can still do something.
Yeah, you're just going to try to find a good, a window. We decided that you're trying to do pavement in December, January, something like that. You just kind of need that window of making sure that the temperatures don't drop to really low. Yeah, we pretty much contractors anymore pour concrete almost year round. They just really need to kind of pay attention to weather and things like that. But again, come end of October, early November, asphalt plants are going to shut down until next spring when they come to put back up. So.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right. Thank you, Kevin. Who knows? Might get July style weather in December.
There's 3 dates coming up.
All right, moving on to students of the month. Mr. Manser, you are up.
Yeah, bud. All right. So I'll start with junior high. So for our 8th grade student of the month, her name is Lydia Stice. She is the daughter of Brock and Jennifer Stice. Lydia is described by her teachers as kind, welcoming, and respectful. She is a hardworking student and always willing to help others. She contributes in class, engages in learning, and participates in many extracurricular activities, including student council, softball, basketball, and volleyball. We are absolutely proud to call Lydia at AC Central. Yeah, of course we do.
It's practice gear.
At least only one of us does.
Is this an advocate to the boosters?
Congrats, Lydia.
Well deserved. All right, and then our big time senior over here. Senior student of the month is Mr. Maximilian Kesselring. Max is the son of Brett and Jackie Kesselring. He's described by his teachers as a hardworking student that is always respectful and positive. He is kind, responsible, and always willing to help others. He has very good leadership skills and always strives to do the best he can. He goes out of his way to make others feel welcome and never misses an opportunity to entertain us through his acting skills. Max challenges himself with college-level courses, is actively involved with many extracurricular activities, and represents AC at the highest levels in choir and beta. We are proud to call Max an AC Central.
And our last one.
Check your tears.
She already cried.
Where's water?
I'm cried out, I dried up.
Save it for the end of the year, right?
Right?
All right, thank you so much, guys. If you want to stick around, there you go. Yes. She's already out. Okay, moving on to night lights, accolades from the board.
I have a few.
Deb?
I have a few that I'm sure I'm missing some. In Ag FFA, Abby Tapp placed 5th in the job interview. And she was also first overall in Section 14 Ag Ed contest, which was very impressive. And then our FFA team was 3rd in Section 14 Ag Sales, and they're in different classrooms, and each one of them were 3rd in their classroom. That's pretty cool. They were in a 3rd, evidently, that was their goal. This is not really an accolade, but don't forget they're doing their Feed the Farmer, October the 10th. And it's at the old Allen's parking lot. And then also they have their labor auction 15th.
Yeah, we just moved the date, so I can believe 15. You keep going, I'll check for you.
Oh, sure, move things on.
It is 15th, you got it.
Okay. Boys golf is doing very well. They're like 10-1. They're really doing well. Girls golf, I'm not sure about. Junior high baseball won the Virginia tournament.
Yeah, I got first place.
That's pretty good.
That was a good game too.
Other than that, I haven't followed them as much.
We lost in our first round of regionals to St. Aloysius, is who we played a championship game for the Virginia tournament.
They were out to get you.
Yeah, it was the first inning was kind of rough. So after that, they lost steam. So you know how that goes.
It happens. Football won their first game
Yeah, it was a good
against
game
New
too.
Berlin
Mm-hmm.
there. Probably one I've had the most fun with though is Kate Harder.
Yeah.
I am not a cross-country person. That's just too long to run. I mean, 50-yard sprint, I'm good. After that, it's all over with.
Did you see where he was beating the
Wow.
Yeah, he was
That-
I don't know if you guys saw that, but
Yes, the golf cart.
That's
That is hilarious.
I even told the guy in the golf cart, I said, "Can you speed up?"
You,
He had it floored and it just wasn't going.
I mean, they only go like 14 miles. I don't know where
sure.
they're going.
and he's won like 3 meets already, but yeah, out doing pace car was pretty funny. And he's also been nominated for SJR Primetime Player. That's pretty good. I have to give him credit because I'm just not running that far.
Well, and he when he went to state last year, that was so much fun. That's the first time I've been to IHSA state
Oh, yeah.
for cross country, and man,
He has won 4 of their 5.
4 or 5. I know it was 3 or 4, so now it's 4 or 5.
and the one I think he got 5th or 6th in, but it was against
Yes.
all the kids that
1A,
they were ahead of him were all kids that are going to be at the state.
It takes me 13 minutes to run a mile.
He's been fun. It's been fun. So those are ones I know right off. I don't know about the rest.
Football homecoming is next Friday night, so play Pleasant Plains. Will be a good football game.
Knock their socks off.
Where's it at? Here,
There will be a little bit of a tailgate on the north end of the bleachers, so there will be free food there. So
Free food.
yes,
What time?
we'll probably start at 5:30. I think Coty has chicken wings and brisket right now, so I don't know what the sides are.
And you guys ran out pretty quick last year, didn't you?
Yes.
I was going to say, I think when I got there a little before the game, they might have already been out.
When you say free from the farmer, you know.
Don't wait
Lose,
for
you
all the
lose.
food.
And bills are mailbox.
Okay. All right. If we don't have anything else, we'll move on to the administrative and committee reports. Sorry. Everybody had a chance to review them. We have none other than Mr. Manser here. If you have any questions for him on his.
Good work.
Yeah.
Why does the labor option say 3 to 9?
I think that's right.
It does online, is that what you're saying?
No, on your thing, it says 3 to 9. I'm like, I know it definitely doesn't start at 3. Is it because you're doing that silent auction thing?
It's because when a teacher turns in the building, that's what I put on the calendar, because that's the building usage is 3 to 9 from setup to cleanup. So that's just my own error, my bad.
Not doing that.
But we'll publicize it out with the right times and everything.
Okay, I've noticed for the last, I don't know how long, we have older classes that have graduated and they still have money in their accounts.
Dr. Zom and I have been talking about it. That's something that, like, we had already originally reached out to them, to the classes to see, and the people have not come and gotten anything. And what I would like to see moving forward, and what Dr. Zom and I have talked about, is have that be a part of the senior class. When you leave with a zeroed out account. So you'd go on your senior trip, but then you have to have a plan for what are you doing as a class with that money. Are you gonna donate something to the school, from the class of 2026? Are you gonna, what's the plan? So I've already been working with Miss Taft, who works with our senior class, on kind of what they want to start thinking about for a project. So,
They can just take the money with them though, can't they?
well, there's, I mean.
So our board
I'll let
policy
her
states if an account is not used for 12
months.
12 consecutive months, that it's put into a like account or distributed among a like account. So we had talked about, there's only 2 classes that
Yeah.
haven't. So distributing it either among the 4 classes or something among all the class accounts that are current right now.
The people
Usually if
from
they do
those.
take it, they open a bank account to use it
Right.
for
For
Class
reunions.
reunions or
Yeah.
whatever.
Usually
But
they use
these
it
classes
for-
just have never taken the initiative to do it.
Well, and they've been contacted,
Mm-hmm.
like both prior years that I've been here, they've been contacted, and nobody's come to get the money.
So
So,
what is typically done is, because there's also a liability with that, because you're giving money to somebody, you're not tracking it, you don't know what they're using it for.
even if they show proof of, here's an account that I set up,
Like, we
they
don't look
could
at
just
it
go
after
transfer
that,
the money
yeah.
to a different account or take it out, and then that money's gone. That's why the idea would be
Get
leave with
something
it
back.
0 balanced. And then, I mean, if not, then after a year, it would just be split up among all the other classes evenly.
I think the classes need to know that then, because if I'm in a senior class, I'm gonna say, you give us all so much money to spend on our class trip or whatever, because if that's what I wanna do, or.
I mean, they work for it. so-
Exactly, I
For
guess
sure.
that's my only problem with just saying, okay, we're gonna take the money.
But-
That's-
Right, if he's
that's-
contacted him twice and nobody's,
And I mean, it's been more than twice, it's been multiple times in each of the last 2 years, and they still have nobody's come to get them. So at that point, it's been over a calendar year. We're looking at just splitting it between, and then,
Well, I think Jenna's one of those.
I was gonna say, Jenna's class.
Jenna's one of them. I find that so hard to believe.
What they're gonna do with it, and I thought they agreed on something. I don't know what
nobody's.
she was telling me about it, I just don't remember what it was.
I was gonna say, that
Talk to
just,
her.
Yeah. that kind of
I
floored
thought
me.
What's that?
Yeah,
Right
because
here, Dave.
she's like, I don't know, I use it for reunions or whatever, I just assume,
We don't have anything on
always
us.
promised.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
They
they
did
did
draft
draft.
all the
Yeah.
way passes that are 0 have been
Yeah.
crazy for 10 years.
Why don't
Like,
they just
See
take
that
them
$5,000
off? There you go.
They're
They're older and
You have it in
zero.
front of you.
Because
Each of the 2 years, which
I know, I
Yeah.
even if
21 and
22.
22.
21 and 22 is
Like
supposed to be.
24, 25, 23, 24.
Yeah,
You're like,
21 is
we
Jenna's
have
class,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they didn't have prom, and I think that was a lot of the issue there with their money.
Leave these on, these on the minute.
mhm.
The next class,
Well, shoot, class
Just
25 has
all right.
$1,082.
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got lots
I
of
already
stuff on
went
their
through
senior
this,
trip.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Like,
I
they
was-
got a lot
I
of
really
food,
would've
they
fixed
had
everything.
money to spend,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I was coached from.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, well, that's just my.
And then the only thing that
No, I
has to be, according to policy, the only thing that has to be board approved is the creation of a brand new account.
So like if we have a new club that's established, the new club would have to have an account approved.
Right.
Before we could bring money.
It doesn't have to be approved to close one. Just open.
Because I mean, there's a tacky sack club
Yes.
that hasn't been used
Yeah.
for umpteen years.
Yeah.
That account can be closed.
I would probably.
Yeah, the rule about closing has not been used for 12 consecutive months.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for reports before we move on to superintendent report? Dr. Zahn, take it away.
Okay, so I'm not gonna read all of the job postings, because you can also read them online on our website. And, we've also been making the pretty, job postings and sharing them on Facebook. The only addition is the director of buildings and grounds, from last month to this month as a posting.
Any applicants on that
I
one?
have one official applicant and 2 people I need to call back. So one of the things I wanted to discuss that I think really only probably Deb knows about, because she forwarded me an email, but I had already signed up for the webinar. IDOT does a grant, and I've learned all of this information. It is every 2 years. This year, it is due on October 15th. And until listening to all the webinars, I didn't realize that, like, a school district can't apply for an infrastructure grant. It has to be like the village. So I think we need to just explore and see if they're willing to do that. They have to be willing and have fiscal means to be the fiscal agent. It's a reimbursement process. It's not a here's the money, let me know how you spend it. So infrastructure is $250,000. They believe this year they're going to get a lot of applicants because there's no match funding requirement. It's available every 2 years. We would be listed on the application as a sponsor. I'm willing to do all of the grant work and leg work, at least the writing part, but I'm going to need help with the leg work, and I'm going to tell you what all that is because it's a lot and I'm going to need like full board support. It requires a bid/quote from an engineer, detailed cost estimate, community letters of support from residents, businesses, police, fire, etc. And the guy on there today said, because it's going to be competitive, probably what will set people apart is those letters and how quick the project can get started. I think he used like shovel to ground. You have to have one public kickoff meeting. The village board has to either pass a resolution or it can be just a letter of support from the mayor. Same with the school district. A plan has to include whether or not right-of-way or easement approval is needed. You have to do parent surveys, student surveys, a student tally, meaning how many students currently walk and ride their bikes to school.
Basically sidewalks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically sidewalks. Key stakeholders have to be interviewed. You have to do a walkability and bikeability survey and include maps and photos. So I did some research about what's been approved previously. I printed the grant. Again, to me, all the requirements, it's a quick turnaround. I mean, can I do it? Sure. But can we get the village to back us and the community to back us?
Does the village have that kind of money to be able to like?
They don't need to manage, they just need letter of support.
I think what she
They
was
have
saying.
to be able to
They have-
fund it.
Yeah,
Because it's a reimbursement process. I asked how long
so like the village would have to put it up front.
each
like, so that-
reimbursement it takes. They said about 3 weeks.
And your engineer fees.
So that would be a question for them to see what they've got in their office money.
Okay. Is that public?
It's
anywhere?
usually like
Just follow it.
sidewalks. It has to be anything has to be a 2-mile radius of the school. It's usually like sidewalks, signs, crosswalking, stripping, ramps, ADA compliance.
It was all the way across town.
That's, yeah,
Yeah, because
takes up the whole
the
time.
whole Ashland.
Yeah, but I don't think $250 and get $250,000 to get you all the way across town. And there is a close school district that got it back in 23, and I'm gonna reach out to that superintendent because I know who that is. But that one was sidewalk repairs and creating new sidewalks. The sidewalks will be ADA compliant. That was the project description. And that was a small town similar to ours. And they were funded at $250,000
Do we know if these are state dollars or federal dollars?
federal.
So what happens, I'm gonna speak on the village behalf, if they enter into this and then the federal government says, I'm not gonna reimburse you, you're stuck with it. Does there
My
verbiage in there?
understanding that they already have the money.
Okay, it's in there.
That's fully funded.
Okay.
That's why there's no match.
So that, the village question is if their appropriations are large enough to fund it.
But with the village funding it, then they have priority to say where these improvements are taking place.
I think there would be,
Because
So-
you have to list like the impacted
Yeah.
school. We're listed as a sponsor, so it's gonna have to be what would impact less than that. Because it's all funded around kids walking, riding their bikes to school
Right.
safely. That's the purpose of the grant. So, if anybody would like to read all of this, I have it. I don't know the new mayor.
Yeah.
I know Nancy.
it's,
So,
She's a nice lady.
yeah, I work with her.
So I guess what would be your ask then for each of us? I mean, if you were gonna.
well, I mean, first we have to find out if they're interested.
Yeah.
But like the biggest thing I'm gonna need help with is getting community letters of support.
So like the bank, yeah.
And then, you know, coming up the kickoff meeting, maybe they can just write their letter right there.
Then probably, the village would probably have to have a, streets and sidewalks committee meeting. But, I mean, that committee's already there, 48 hours to post a meeting.
Yeah, because they just had new turnover. I got on their website and it's on.
Yeah. I would call and talk to Nancy,
You will.
said we. I mean, I can help since I served for 8 years, so.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to do something on the survey side of it.
I think that school registration should have numbers of kids that walk and ride to school, because that was one question that was on registration. So
Yeah,
that
but there's a
was-
specific way that you have to give. It's a costume survey.
Oh,
And you
okay.
have to ask the kids. You have to ask the kids every day. Like, there's really a lot of like. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a form.
Saying that walkers and riders.
Just for a week.
Just
Like you have to, yeah, you have to like,
Oh,
it's like a
that's so bad.
study, yeah.
So can you, they have just like a Google form they fill out every day,
Can we do it with the weather for
or does it have to be in person?
Exactly.
Yeah, better do that next week, that's still my stuff.
There's a sample of the tally sheet that's required.
It's a lot of stuff to do. I mean,
No, it is.
it's a lot of hoops to jump.
When does the board?
We'll have another
Second
opportunity for 2
Wednesday,
years.
it's not
Yes.
so long
Yeah,
now.
so I mean, I feel like we should do it.
Yeah,
for
sure,
Yeah.
We need to at least reach out and see if they're.
And then you have, I think, 18 months to complete the project.
I mean, if we identified businesses that you need letters from, I can make those phone calls.
They can also have a special board meeting too.
Sure.
I've only ever talked to Nancy like via Facebook Messenger, so I don't have her cell phone number anymore. She's calls me all the time.
I can start with Jacob Gardner. And Nathan. Nathan's about ready to step off, but he's the most tenured.
I don't know.
Or you can start with Nathan and I can talk to Jacob. I don't think he's moved yet. Well, his house up for sale. I don't know if he's still on the board or not.
Jacob?
No, Nathan.
I know it's so.
Like, there's a list of interview questions, and you have to attach the interviews. Like I said, it's,
I think he's on the board. His house is
Can you email that to us?
yeah, that's a lot.
Every student or?
No, they call it stakeholder interviews.
Okay, so what's your take on it? So what's your take on that? This is gonna be work. We're hearing that. So what's your take on it?
I mean, I think $250,000
It's hard to-
unmatched is,
It's kind of hard to,
if the community and village is gonna stand behind it, that's a good chunk of money.
Yeah, it
Plus
is.
sidewalks.
I think it's a
Yes.
lot. of
Sidewalks around here are not
They're horrible.
good or
Mhm.
maintained or
It's,
okay.
ADA
Or even
ADA
exist in
compliant
some
or even
places.
exist.
I mean, we did,
Yes.
yeah, your
There's-
sidewalk in front of your old house.
Okay,
I know.
so who's going to contact
nicest
Nancy?
sidewalk in town.
That's where we need to start right now.
Because I did.
Okay.
I can
Ourselves.
call her if you want me to. I don't care. You can too. I don't.
I'll call her.
Okay.
I'll talk to her.
Okay, let's get that started,
See if
because
they have-
if they're gonna have to, if they have interest in it, and
Yeah.
if they have to have a meeting, they're gonna have one right away,
Yeah, absolutely.
so.
And then, no.
Sorry, were you telling me earlier though that the engineer fees are not matched? Or
So
they're
they
not
said
covered?
if you, like, there's a lot of places that will at least give you a pretty detailed estimate that you can use for help getting somebody to do that, to call the guy that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why can't we use ice novel down in the county?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can,
There you go.
as long as, yeah, he's qualified to give a detailed bid of estimate of how much it's cost, yeah. I mean,
I don't know, but
So to get this clear though, whenever I do talk to Nancy, then do we necessarily have to identify the areas or are we just gonna talk about a
process.
Yeah, amount of,
Well, it sounds like the other school is pretty vague.
I think the first
Sidewalk,
question is,
yeah,
do we
yeah,
like to do this
yeah.
project as a visual, is the village have appropriations enough to do
cover
this
it.
250,000 reimbursable every 3 weeks?
that's,
that's
okay,
the most
that's,
important.
That's the important
And-
thing to start with.
So time out. If we're a sponsor for them, does that mean that they don't have 250? Like we could float them money in order to pay for it because then we're gonna get reimbursed anyways, right? Like
I don't know how one unit of government can write another unit of government a check.
right.
okay.
It should be easy.
I'll call
I know. I'm just like trying to think of
No,
something
that's
if
a good
the
idea to
village
talk.
couldn't, so that way we could
I
still
need
do
to talk
it.
to her
You
about
know?
community day
I
stuff
understand
anyway.
that, but it should be easy.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
well, I think we need to identify those, after we talk to her. So, yeah, if you got any ideas, email them to.
I think it's definitely worthwhile. Because it's, when I was on the village, that was like a priority we would love to do, but we just don't have any funding for it.
So
Right.
as far as like delegating tasks, I mean, what's that really what needs to do, what can, so
I say let's see if
Once-
they're willing.
yeah.
Start
Yeah,
with the
then
And
village.
then let us know what we
If
can
they
do.
say
I
yes,
can make a
then
list and share it and people can
Okay.
sign up for,
Is that your
So,
company?
okay,
I just-
send it to me first ahead of time so I can pick and choose what I want.
Oh,
okay, first.
The most senior board member gets
Yeah. Exactly.
touche.
Come on now. There's gotta be some advantage here. I always
Wondered,
think
like,
that
what if we
people-
sat in on?
I'll move through here and find you this.
Yeah, that would be the, yeah.
Instead of all that.
Okay, yeah, don't, yeah.
His attention span is not reading.
Right. All right.
Okay, is that
Is that
it?
it?
Amy, or you got more for us?
That was the main thing when I went through
Okay.
discussion about.
All right.
Okay.
And we got lots of foliage. Like,
Oh, well, yeah, I do have one more, sorry. So, real quick, Pepsi versus Coke. Not really want to have that discussion, but in general, so I did reach out, had a board member request to reach out to Coke today, so I did that. In asking other superintendents, there was only one that had a Coke contract. Some have already compared and said Pepsi always offers better incentives. There is no rush to do this. I'm just trying to
Get ahead of the
get
game.
ahead of some things that I can. I do have Pepsi looking into funding the sign on here. I've requested a quote from Ace. I gave him pictures, Anthony and I went and measured it in detail. I'm hoping that they will agree to, but I finally talked to the code guy today, who was new and
It's a good one.
could not answer a lot of the questions. So he's going to be getting back to me.
And the scores table.
No, that's gonna be,
We hope. We
Okay.
have quite a bit of money in there, but we hope.
Okay.
That's by a shop box this year too, I think.
Yeah.
Shop on the vehicle next year.
It's next year?
But we
our current
we've
contract
got it.
isn't.
You've got
Yeah, oh, so.
Oh,
just need to get it installed.
All right, we need to go to employees.
focus. Right, got a lot.
No,
you're okay there then.
I got 3 spots right here, that's enough.
I got one. Here you go.
Thank you. So the FOIA's received since the last update. The vendor name, purchase, that was from Star Bridget Tech, Justin Lynn. Personnel records of Robert A. Boston from April 24 to current. Purchasing records from 5/21/25 to current. Names of all graduates from middle school. Completed with the following fields, name and destination. I responded that they needed to resubmit their request because it's a violation of FERPA. Copy of principal contract and copies of all active teacher contracts, bargaining unit. We responded with the link to the bargaining unit and the principal contract. We only have one. Names and honors recognized by College Board as AP scholars. According to the definition of AP scholars, we don't have any because you have to take lots of AP tests in one year. That's it.
Questions? All right. Need a motion to enter into closed session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district. 5 ILCS 120/2C1 as amended by PA 93-0057 and collective negotiating matters between the district and its employees or their representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. 5 ILCS 120/2C2. Carissa first, second, Brian second. We have to do a roll call vote,
Yes.
please.
Daniel,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Kara. Yes. Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
All right. We're there. Roll call,
Curtis,
yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Brian,
Yep.
Kara.
Yes.
You back up, Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel report as presented?
Motion?
I'll second.
First by Brian, second by Kara.
Carissa,
Abstain.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Deb.
Yes.
All right. Well, feasibility and stuff, study timeline. Anything anybody got on that? Kind of at a standstill at the moment.
Have we found anybody for the deactivation to come talk to us or give us the details about it?
Not yet.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I think we're still. I did talk to Amy, and we're going to set up her and I are going to set up an appointment with Petersburg to go just talk to them and candid conversation just to see what their thoughts are, since we haven't really heard much from them over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
I just see what their thoughts are. Other than that, I don't have anything else on that.
Okay.
All right, solar project. I will email you guys some information. I was trying to get Brock Thompson here to discuss it at this meeting, but he was unable to do so. So he will be here in the October meeting to discuss his findings. He's going to put together some information based on our AMR bills and present that information to us. But what he sent me today in email was pretty kind of just some pamphlets that are just informational. Yeah.
With being said, since it's kind of my purview with my
Yeah.
full-time job,
Yeah.
if there is any federal funding tied to this, there has been some cutback on how it's applied, where it's applied. The biggest thing is like for REAP grants, which a lot of the agriculture sector uses, is just for your current electric use. So if it's 200 kilowatts, it's what the system is built for. But the big kicker now is it has to be components that are not made in China, which kills every single panel in existence. Canada used to make some, they kind of phased out because they were inefficient. But everything is coming, majority of these things are from China. So,
Oh,
yes, South Korea was making some things, but they didn't keep pace. Even within, this came down 2 weeks ago from Secretary of Agriculture. And since then, we have seen some things taper off with projects being applied for through the Department of Ag.
so do you think that the December 31st timeline might get?
I'm saying we're having less funding opportunities coming at us,
Yep.
and it's coming at a rapid pace.
Yep.
The hard line is those federal credits will sunset December 31st. So that's our 31 or 33%. But like I said, if we were trying to find additional revenue or funding, those doors are shutting at a rapid rate. So in summary, if we're going to act on this, we cannot sit on our hands.
Mhm.
We have to have a study done, we have to know what's going to be, we have to have a proposal. We're talking like 60-day turnaround.
Do you know somebody that does this?
There's, I don't play favorites because we're not allowed to where I'm at, but I can tell you the companies that's built really big projects, and there are local companies here that have done a job of residential. I think ours is probably going to fall on the residential side.
And that's what I wondered. Will residential even do a school?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of, you probably did some larger scale.
Mhm.
I mean, on the residential end of it, we're not a utility scale. We would not fall under that purview.
2 megs, you gotta be under 2 megs.
Yeah.
Get there.
But we're gonna have to be creative and be probably, we've got a small footprint, so we're gonna have to have some options. We're gonna have to have some engineering done if we wanted to do above ground. Have to think of going down the road, where we're gonna be at in 10 years if we put something permanent somewhere. We may have to look at accessing property. Because these panels do take up, Daniel probably could give us a relative size footprint of what these panels are. But we won't know until the study's done, and that would be what Rock would talk about.
I did a quote on a project for the elevator,
Or see if they can get information along
They
the
come
bill.
out.
and it was proposed to just take care of their entire
Yeah,
utility bill.
like they.
Prentice elevator, if you ever drive by that, right? So that,
Yeah.
that grassy area,
66, so
that's kind of
Yeah.
I know.
the east side of like the road, scale road, there's usually one
Yeah.
house in there. So they would have needed pretty much that grassy area, and they would have wiped off their utility bill.
Right.
We need that.
Right,
I
right.
think it would be beneficial.
That was a long time ago, but I want to say our utility here, prior to the increase in dollars per kilowatt hours used, would probably be similar. So you're probably in the neighborhood of, I forget what it was now. I want to say it was like half, 3/4 of an acre was all it was needed to take care of net zero on your utility bill. Small, I mean, relatively a small area, right? There's other options. We've kicked around the idea of, if we do something in the parking lot, you could put them potentially as a roof over the parking lot. That gets a little bit more, in my opinion, complicated because of engineering and structures and
Kids
somebody,
running into it.
kids running into it,
Well, I mean,
you got wire
just-
exposed.
Interconnect, where's it actually gonna connect to?
Right, and my opinion is a scale like this, the public entity, you're gonna want it fenced in, right, to keep the public out. That would be something
Yeah.
different
Power banks
from
over here
a
on
residential
this
part.
side. Power banks over here on this side.
Yeah, and that's not a huge driving force, but it is something to consider. More so your topography, your tree lines, buildings, things like that to consider. And as much open space as you can have to do it.
So what I'm saying is, do we need to contact somebody else since Brock is
I will. Yep.
slow?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you have anybody?
I can give you a whole list of names. I could pull,
Really biggest thing is just to get them a copy of our bill and they run the numbers and give us the
See
information.
who would be feasible.
Right.
and they'll have to decide with it, so. But yeah, I can find a list.
Okay.
I'm.
Yeah. So we might have some information from Angie too.
You
All right.
probably know too, so.
Yeah, no, those guys and then a good friend of mine. So,
All right. Moving on to the next one. See where we're at about the parking lots. Guess do we want to discuss this first?
So we'll talk about the staff parking lot for first. I feel like that's a lot of money.
I sure thought it was a typo when I first read it.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't disagree that it needs to be updated because, talking to other teachers that park out there, there are holes, obviously, like the drainage issue, there's, whenever it freezes, we do have some people that concerns about falling and things like that, so I do think that something needs to be done with that, but to spend $420,000 on that parking lot, that seems excessive to me.
So what are those prices gonna be next year?
That's not gonna get cheaper.
That's the thing.
my
It's
only-
not-
But is there an
Sure.
alternative than the chip and oil though? You know what I mean? Is there something else that we can do? Like he talked about drainage, so that would fix some of the flooding, right? So what else can we do besides chip and oil that's not gonna cost $420,000?
Right.
well,
Gravel?
Right, so where's that at? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm
But
at.
here's
We
my-
only got the one bid for chip and oil. Where's our other options in order to
So-
fix the problem, I guess?
I'm gonna pose a question, and we've all been to lots of facilities, lots. Name one school that's got gravel parking lots.
Greenfield.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
don't
not gonna
ever pay
do
attention,
something
to
just
be honest
because
with you.
everyone else does it.
But that's how you get people here's aesthetics. Look at Williamsville.
Okay, but Brian, my problem is it's
Okay,
behind
you
the
s-
school and not
wait,
in
wait,
front
wait.
either.
You say that, but then last month, I think it was you brought up, is Virginia getting any more students after they build a brand new school? Are they? And I said, they are getting a few. And
Okay.
I was argued against by several people that it's not really making that big of a difference. And that's a school, not just a little parking lot for just
Well, and
teachers.
speaking of Virginia, they have up by the school, they have their state, but isn't the excess parking still gravel over
Yes.
there?
Yes, but I'm just saying.
This is
Like, I get it, aesthetics, yes, and it sure does, makes people take a second look. But are they gonna come here because the teacher parking lot is paved? Because we spent $420,000 on a
That's
teacher
one
parking
phase
lot?
of it. What do you think this big parking lot's gonna look like?
Oh, I'm sure
Well,
it's gonna be-
yes, but I'm not saying, yeah. There's so many things inside the buildings that we'd be spending this money on.
Where is that list? I haven't seen it.
Well, I
Oh,
just
we've been
did,
asking for a few years.
Yeah. Deb kind of gave me
I
a
did some digging.
triage list
I did some
before
digging.
the meeting that she had dug up after the bond was taken out, correct, Deb?
I
Or
haven't
sometime
digged-
around that time frame
Yeah.
that was,
Sometime,
No.
and I
Is
can
this
share
the
that with
NG
you
list?
guys.
No,
No.
this is before.
this
like,
is back when we
okay.
took that bond out.
This
And we
was
were
a-
like, we need projects that are important.
It's probably
So,
3
like,
years old. at least.
No, we don't.
It was a wish list
Admin and
a need
teachers,
list.
everybody added things to this list.
Yeah.
And
So it's like
you can make
needs
copies
and
of it,
wants.
but,
We could copy this and we'll
Yeah.
give you
Yeah.
guys a
Yeah.
copy of it, but I
And then I
guess,
do wanna, just in case you think you probably recognize this, but there's invoices already for both projects.
right,
So those are bills. And I went ahead and put them on there and attached them so you could see, like it
Right,
comes
for the
off the actual
engineering fees.
estimate on both of those.
The engineering fees come off of the.
Yeah, if you look at the, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, no,
the
I don't think.
estimate, like the HVAC study, like that total kind of included that.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'll have to agree with Carissa on this. I mentioned it to Curtis, that's a lot of money, and I don't know that as a taxpayer, they would want to spend paying toward $500,000 for a parking lot rather than putting it in your facility itself or.
But when are we gonna do that?
Well, let's come up with some other solutions. Let's look at this
Instead
list
of
or
just-
make up our own list.
Instead of just jumping at the first thing, I guess.
Yes.
That's me.
And trying to figure out, because I bet if we look at this list, there's probably 10 things we can get done for that amount of money. And let's mark some things off the list. Maybe not great big projects, but we can still get some things. Like, I just want to get more bang for my buck.
The one thing I will say that is a little hesitant on this is we don't really know what we're going to end up spending on the HVAC system.
You know, at least $1 million because the system
Right.
itself is $1 million. It's
And-
just all the extra we got.
And when I've talked to them, they thought it was gonna be right around that.
Right. But I mean, in my experience, is a project like that is you kind of open Pandora's box a little bit, and you really have no idea what you're going to get into.
When you
And
look at the ag shop and how much that ended up costing us at the end of the long run.
I definitely think that a facelift needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I feel timing might not be ideal, given that my reserve is where we're at with the HVAC project in limbo, not having a concrete plan for that.
And then if you add on something even close to solar, what's that gonna add? Those two things alone
Right,
Mhm.
are gonna be
and
massive.
That would be
You-
an alternate
yeah, yeah, that,
source.
and that would pay itself back faster than.
Eventually.
right, that would,
Yeah.
Than
would
what
be
the
a
bond
simple-
is we're taking out, or that has been taken out for these infrastructure updates.
And you know, I think a lot of us campaigned on using those funds to better this district, and I definitely think that's something we do. But I think
It's $420,000 spent on that part.
Right, okay, so I guess in the beginning
Even
of
just the
this,
regrading part of it. Yeah.
I looked at it as we've got to start updating stuff. We told the taxpayers back when that bond was taken out that that's what the money was going to be used. I explained it as like going to a car dealership and giving them, taking out a loan with them and paying the interest and principal, but saying, you keep the car, I don't want it. We've got to do something. I mean, and just because of, especially with the pushback we got when we tried to pay the bond off, that if we were going to keep it, we need to come up with a plan for it.
We do.
This was I guess we should have included this more. We need to triage, we need to prioritize a list of stuff that we need to do.
Correct.
But we need to stay diligent on it because it's going to go by the wayside and nothing's going to get done. And I do not want that to happen.
No, I agree 100%.
And I also think that if we're going to do, like with the HVAC system, we were given 3 different options. We only got the asphalt, chip and oil, or whatever this one is. Like, what does it look like if we got gravel? Like, what does it look like if we, I know they gave us a concrete option too, but.
I mean, they did what we asked them to.
What are the different
Yeah.
options? Like, is there more than one way to do it?
Well, I'm sure if they chip and, oil and chip this out here, it's going to be considerably cheaper. So and I guess this would be a question for Kevin, that if we threw that as an alternate to him, would those engineering fees be applied to that, or would it have to be?
I thought to do the whole entire process again.
It's a different material.
And I guess that's where my biggest hang up now is, because we're on the hook for roughly $60,000.
Some of that though was HVAC.
HVAC, yeah, 53,000 is HVAC, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
about
like
7,000 of it.
7,000 for 500.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
No apologies needed.
Okay.
Can we table it?
We can table it.
I think that's what we do. What I'd like to do is table it to get more information on this HVAC, right? We've got we are under the gun, but if I were going to vote, I'll step out and I'll say, if I was going to vote on doing the project, I was going to be more inclined to go to the concrete, right? Pay a little bit more up front, one and done. One and done, right? So with that being said, my vote to go over the asphalt, go to concrete, that buys us a little bit more time in this calendar year. We can pour concrete into November, right? As long as the ground's not frozen, you can pour concrete.
Yeah, because the bid's open until then.
Right. So they can table it. Let's put a little pressure on these guys to get us some more concrete data and numbers back on this HVAC, and make a decision based off of that. I definitely agree with you. I want to do things to better the district,
right?
But I also want to make a proper decision with as much information.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't know how.
It also would have been nice, like, if their bid would have had, like, grading is this much, digging up the dirt's this much, like that kind of a thing. Because I look at that and I think, what possibly cost that much?
You rarely get it broke down like that. It just takes a lot of time to put a pencil to it. They'll put rough numbers in it.
I mean, they obviously know.
Yeah,
How else do they bid it?
You're rarely going to get that. I mean, we just had a big project done at work where we put in a big concrete pad, and it was just the concrete alone was close to $175,000 just for the concrete material. So it was roughly a 300 by 75 foot pad, similar to probably what's out here. So the dollars to me is not out of line. It's just it's a lot of them, right? From what everything else we've kind of got going on. So that's
Well,
where I'm at.
and my question when Deb and I talked was, because she pointed out to me at the last meeting, was I thought we were going to talk about the school park, the student parking lot.
Visitor.
So I asked her, does it seem more appealing to look at that first, or we look at this list and we
I'd like to look at a list and say,
so
these are important priorities.
Yes.
Let's check off this one and this one and this one.
Well, I
Would
think
be-
drainage for all parking lots. The teacher parking lot needs to be looked at. The visitor and that needs to be looked at. I mean, we got like games that we host here, and I mean, sometimes it's hard for me. I'm 35 years old walking
we
on
do
my
a lot
parking
of
lot.
lighting.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're-
I mean, you're gonna be paying a lot more if somebody seriously gets hurt than $400,000.
Correct.
And that was part of my delivery as well. So
Right, and I'm not saying
We'll-
no. I just think it's
we'll table it till the next meeting.
Why don't we each come next meeting with a few things that we think, and start compiling a list,
That'd be
our
great.
own list.
I mean, I'm sure if you, not saying that she's got extra time just on it. But you said something about
We asked the
building a
teachers
building
even,
walkthrough.
and-
Yeah, or taking a poll.
we used to do a building walkthrough every year.
Or taking a poll. I mean, it'd be nice to know. I even mentioned that to her one time, trying to take, because of the maintenance grant too itself. What are we going to do with that 50,000? We got to match. So
Right.
it'd be nice to know from.
Where you're gonna use it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
Have
want
an
to put any
idea.
more work on Amy's plate.
No.
But I think if we collectively can look at facilities and say, even if we don't know dollars, say, hey, this I'd like to have looked at. You know, it's nice or whatever.
Okay. We're gonna table the two till next meeting.
I
Got that.
I would vote on the bus parking lot.
Do we what? Say it again.
You gotta go through the motion,
Oh, sorry.
ask for a motion,
Do I have a motion to approve the bid?
No.
Huh?
to table it.
I'll make a
Nobody has to
motion to
make a
table.
motion.
Oh, sorry. Oh, this is my first one.
Oh,
Sorry.
so propose a motion to table the discussion for
yeah.
the staff parking lot.
Do I have a motion to approve to table the staff parking lot and the bus barn parking lot? Daniel first. Jennifer second.
Deb,
Yes.
Brian,
Nope.
Kara,
Yes.
Carissa,
Yeah.
Curtis.
No. All right, moving forward. This discussion. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the district's FY26 budget as presented?
Let's get into business.
There's always an item.
Yeah, it's there in case you wanted to write something in, I guess.
I do, timekeeping.
Timekeeping.
Yes, finding a different using digital software for our timekeeping here at the district.
Let's put that on for future agenda items.
There we go.
There you go. All right, approve. Do I have a motion to approve the district's FY26 budget as presented? Kara first. Daniel second. Roll call, please.
Brian,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Carissa,
Yeah.
Deb. Yes.
I do have a motion to pay invoice from Graham and Hyde for HVAC system replacement study in the amount of $53,542.50 as presented. Brian first. Kara second.
Carissa,
Yeah.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Deb.
No, because I didn't vote for it the first time.
I guess we would still gotta pay him, right?
Yeah, you have to pay him, but.
Yeah, I mean,
It
well,
passed.
no, I'm talking, yeah, motion passes on that one, but
No,
Oh,
we
you
still
mean
have
the
to
second
do it.
one.
I understand,
the second one,
understand.
all right. Do I have a motion to approve to pay the invoice from Graham and Hyde for the parking lot project planning in the amount of $6,900 as presented? Brian, yes, first. Sorry. Do I have a second? Kara, second.
Carissa,
Yeah.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
No.
Daniel,
Yes.
Deb.
No.
Motion carries. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the tuition reimbursement request for Greg Lane as presented? $2,500. Carissa first, Jennifer second. Roll call, please.
Deb,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Daniel.
Yes.
And just to clarify, that's the max cost per year,
Per employee.
per employee.
Yes.
Per year.
Do I have the motion to approve the 5-year Pepsi contract as presented? Carissa first, Daniel second.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Brian.
Yep.
Kara.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to submit the school maintenance grant application with approval of using local funds to cover the match district's portion, $50,000 of the project cost? Carissa first, Deb second. Roll call, please.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Brian.
Yep.
Kara.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the FFA to attend the national convention in Indianapolis, Indiana from 10/29/25 to 11/1/25 as presented? Carissa first, Deb second.
Brian.
Yeah.
Kara,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Daniel.
Yes.
As Brian stated, request for future timekeeping strategies. And
Digital timekeeping options.
there you go. All right. Anything else?
No, no one
Seeing
leave, you gotta sign.
Deb,
Yep. Motion to adjourn. Deb first. We can't leave unless I get a second. Jennifer second. All
that
those
was
in favor
Jennifer's
say aye.
second. Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Don't leave, just